Hi guys, welcome to the new lecture of chemistry. Now in this chapter, till now we have discussed about these topics. And today we are going to discuss about laws of chemical equivalence. Now let me tell you the importance of equivalent weight. You might be solving the problems based on molecular mass, atomic mass, molar mass and problems based on the chemical reactions. Now just imagine in a chemical reaction a reactant or a product is missing, or there is a chemical reaction which is very difficult to balance, or there is a series of a chemical reaction and you have to find out the answer in seconds. Now this is the requirement of competitive examinations. You have to find out the answer in very short time. Now is there any method which can help us to find out answers in these kind of problems? Yes, there is one method, and that is law of equivalence. In law of equivalence, we will study about the equivalent weight of acid, base, salt, and in the case of redox reaction. Now guys, there are two words. One is equal and another is equivalent. First we have to know that what is the difference between equal and equivalent. Now let's start with the day-to-day example. One day I went to the market and I gave 100 rupee note to a shopkeeper and I asked to give me some notebooks. He gave me 3 notebooks, each was costing 30 rupees. So the total cost was 90 rupees. And what he has to do? He was supposed to give me 10 rupees back, and he said that I don't have 10 rupees, you can take this pen. I said, I don't want any pen, I want my 10 rupees. He said, he don't have the change, I can take this pencil. I said, no, I don't want pen, I don't want pencil, I want 10 rupees only. So guys, what is happening here? The role of the pen and the pencil and the 10 rupees are same because their worth is same. So a pen, a pencil or 10 rupees. Since their worth is same, therefore they are not equal, they are equivalent. Now let's take an example in chemistry. 24 gram of magnesium gives us 24 gram of magnesium ions and 2 moles of electron. Therefore 12 gram of magnesium will give us 12 gram of magnesium ions and 1 mole of electron. Now guys, focus on this 1 mole of electron because equivalent weight is directly related to this 1 mole. Right? Now, we all know that 16 gram of oxygen will accept 2 moles of electron to give 1 mole of oxide ion, that is 16 gram. 8 gram of oxygen will accept 1 mole, again 1 mole, to form 8 gram oxide ion. So oxygen will gain 1 mole of electron to give 8 gram of oxide ion. The example of aluminium, then 27 gram of aluminium will give us 27 gram of aluminium ion and 3 moles of electron. So you can say that 3 moles of electrons are given by 27 grams of aluminium. Therefore 1 mole of electron is given by 9 gram of aluminium. So what's the conclusion? The conclusion is 12 gram magnesium loses 1 mole of electron, 8 gram oxygen accepts 1 mole of electron, and 9 gram of aluminium loses 1 mole of electron. So what they are doing? They are playing the same role. Now we know that 12 is not equal to 8 and that is not equal to 9. But 12 gram of magnesium is equivalent, not equal. 12 gram of magnesium is equivalent to 9 gram of aluminium, and that is equivalent to 8 gram of oxygen. So their equivalent weights are 12, 9 and 8. Let me tell you one more thing. We know that molar mass of magnesium is 24, and if I divide by the equivalent weight 12, I will get 2. Now this is the valency of magnesium. In the case of aluminum, if 27 is divided by 9, I will get 3. This is the valency of aluminum. Therefore, we can derive the formula equivalent weight is equal to molar mass divided by valency. And according to the definition of the equivalent weight, the mass of the substance which can displace or it can react with 1 gram of hydrogen. Now, 1 gram of hydrogen will lose 1 mole of electron, and 8 gram of oxygen. 8 gram of oxygen, again we discussed that it will accept 1 mole of electron and 35.5 gram of chlorine. And we know that 35.5 gram of chlorine, Cl accepts 1 mole of electrons and form 1 mole of Cl minus. Now, these were the equivalent weight of these elements. Now, how to find out the equivalent weight of the compounds? Now, if the equivalent weight of an element is equal to E, then equivalent weight of its hydride will be E plus 1. Then equivalent weight of its oxide will be E plus 8. We will directly add the equivalent weights. And then equivalent weight of chloride will be equal to E plus 35.5. So that's how we find the equivalent weight of the compounds. Let's solve a question. If an equivalent weight of an oxide, now what he has done? He has given the equivalent weight of the oxide of the element is 20. So how we will start the solution? The solution will be we know that for oxide the equivalent weight is E plus 8. We just did it, and it is giving the equivalent weight of oxide is 20, and he is asking what will be the equivalent weight of its hydride and chloride. Now E plus 8 will be equal to 20. From here E is equal to 20 minus 8, that is equal to 12. Now 12 is the equivalent weight of that element. Now what we have to do? We have to find out the equivalent weight of hydride and chloride. Now in the case of hydride, it is E plus 1. Therefore, it will be 12 plus 1 is equal to 13. So, equivalent weight of hydride in this case is 13. One more thing I want to tell you, equivalent weight is a dimensionless quantity because it is the relative quantity. Now, let's find out the equivalent weight of chloride. And in the case of chloride, as we studied earlier, in the case of chloride, it is equal to E plus 35.5, that is equal to 12 plus 35.5, and our final answer is 47.5. So that's how we will solve these kind of questions. Let's solve another question. Now in this question is asking if a bivalent metal, again bivalent means the valency is 2. Now we have to search for these type of keywords and you can solve each and every question of equivalent weight. So it is bivalent metal, valency is 2, forms an oxide having equivalent weight is equal to 28. Again the weight is given. The equivalent weight 28 is given. Which is that metal? Means it can be calcium, it can be magnesium, iron or copper. Now we have to find out the molar mass. And if we find out the molar mass, we can tell which metal it is. So let's start with the solution. The solution of the question will be Now in the case of oxide, we know that E plus 8 is equal to 28. Now we have to find out the equivalent weight. So equivalent weight will be E is equal to 28 minus 8, that is equal to 20. So 20 is the equivalent weight of that particular metal, and we have to find out the molar mass. Now guys, we know that the equivalent weight is equal to molar mass divided by valency. Now equivalent weight is 20, that is equal to molar mass we have to find out, let us consider it m, and the valency, you can see clearly in the question it is given, it is bivalent metal, therefore it will be valency will be equal to 2. So the molar mass m, that will be equal to 40, and if the molar mass is 40, that will be calcium. So our answer will be first. We will solve these kind of questions in this manner. Now let's discuss about the equivalent weight of acid, base, salt, and in the case of redox reactions.